From JBS Studios in Greater New York, this is the JBS News Update with Teisha Bader.
I'm Teisha Bader with the JBS News Update for Wednesday, March the 19th, 2025. The IDF said today that it began targeted ground activities in central and southern Gaza in order to expand the security zone, it said, and to create a partial buffer between northern and southern Gaza. And overnight last night, it said it struck a Hamas military site in northern Gaza where preparations were being made to fire projectiles at Israeli territory. In addition, the IDF said the Israeli Navy struck several vessels in the coastal area of Gaza, saying these vessels were intended to be used for terrorist activities. As we reported to you, these actions follow refusals by terror group Hamas to agree to proposals from the U.S. administration regarding extending Phase 1 of the ceasefire agreement. Last night, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu spoke to the public about the current situation.
Hamas refused offer after offer to release our hostages. In the past 2 weeks, Israel did not initiate any military action in the hope that Hamas would change course. Well, that didn't happen. While Israel accepted the offer of President Trump's special envoy, Steve Witkoff, Hamas flatly refused to do so. And this is why I authorized yesterday the renewal of military action against Hamas. Israel does not target Palestinian civilians. We target Hamas terrorists.
Tens of thousands of Israelis took to the streets of Jerusalem today to push for the release of the hostages still held captive by terror group Hamas in Gaza, and also to protest the Prime Minister's plans to fire the head of Israel's security agency, the Shin Bet, Ronen Bar. On Sunday, the Prime Minister held a meeting with Bar and informed him reportedly of an upcoming vote to remove him from his post, and reportedly said in a later statement that he had ongoing distrust in the Shin Bet chief. Recently released Israeli hostage Eli Sharabi will reportedly address the United Nations Security Council tomorrow, Thursday morning in New York, about his harrowing ordeal in Hamas captivity in Gaza. Sharabi was abducted from Kibbutz Be'eri, his wife Lian and their daughters Yahel and Noya murdered there during the October 7th massacre. His older brother Yossi Sharabi, also taken hostage that day, was murdered in Hamas captivity. The 59 hostages still held by Hamas in Gaza have now been captive for 530 days. Veteran U.S. Congresswoman Nita Lowey passed away this weekend. The Jewish Democrat from New York served in the U.S. House of Representatives for 32 years and was the first woman to lead the U.S. House Appropriations Committee. In the announcement of her passing, her family wrote, "A public servant in the truest sense, she was guided by the Jewish core value of tikkun olam, repairing the world." Jewish organizations called Nita Lowey an irreplaceable champion of the Jewish people and a trailblazer. Prime Minister Netanyahu mourned Lowey, writing she was a proud American, a proud daughter of the Jewish people, and a staunch supporter of Israel. Lowey died on Saturday after battling breast cancer for several years. She was 87 years old. Well, Israeli actress Gal Gadot made history yesterday, becoming the first Israeli to receive a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. The Wonder Woman star, who was surrounded by her husband and 4 daughters, as well as fellow artists, spoke about following her passion, working hard, and growing up in Israel to cheers and applause.
I'm just a girl from a town in Israel, and yes, and I could never imagine such moment.
Taking a look now at our programming for tonight on JBS for Wednesday, March the 19th. At 7 o'clock, David Harris speaks with Mithal al-Alusi, Iraqi politician and advocate for peace with Israel, democracy, and human rights in the Arab world. At 7:30, Rabbi Ammiel Hirsch speaks of the significance in honoring tradition, elevating sacred institutions, and celebrating the beauty of life. At 8, Robert Siegel explores firsthand accounts and expert insights on the trauma and aftermath of October the 7th with Lee Yaron, Rabbi Namdar and Dr. Michael Bahar. At 9, it's Mordechai Kedar on L'chaim. At 10, the ILTV's Insider. At 10:30, an encore of the news. And coming up next, it's Thinking Out Loud. And that's the JBS News Update for Wednesday, March the 19th, 2025. I'm Teisha Bader. Am Yisrael Chai.